to the Armory Show. How's it, Naseem?
It's good. It's good. 8 points clear.
Yeah,
looking
mixed
good.
week. Mixed week.
Yeah, I wasn't too up. I wasn't too upset about the Europa knockout.
I was more upset about the drive back home. To be honest, I didn't get back till about 3 a.m. It was terrible. They closed all the motorways and everything on the way back, so it was a terrible journey for me. And I was sat next to a Sporting Lisbon fan. I think I mentioned this, that I took one of my old friends to the game. He's from Portugal. He's from his home team is Sporting Lisbon, although he hasn't seen them play for years and years and years now. But so it was a nice experience for him to go. But I did tell him at the end of the game, I'm never going to another Sporting Lisbon game with him ever again. So when we next play them in 50 years' time, I won't invite him.
No, I really wasn't too upset. It gives us time to concentrate on the league. I think the league is.
There was also a silver lining for me as well that I think because you get 7 cup games, either FA Cup or Europa League, included in your season ticket. If you don't fulfill all of those 7 games, you get a refund for those games that you miss. So I'll get that off my season ticket next season. So that is a bonus.
Oh, okay. Oh.
That might cater for the increase in price if we go into the Champions League.
Yeah. So I mean, why don't they just carry it over to the next season then? Did it work? No, it wouldn't work. No, it doesn't make sense. Okay.
Yeah, no, it won't. It'll be 7 games next season as well, either FA Cup or and Champions League, whichever the first 7 are.
What's the cost of a season ticket, by the way?
My season ticket, which is next to centre and sort of up on the upper tier and nearish the back, that was £1,250.
I'm just doing the math quickly. So
it's about
30, close to 30,000 rand.
Yeah, ish, yeah.
It's not too bad.
About 25,000 rand, I think.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
No, it's all right actually. My season ticket last season. It was a higher price category, but it was a COVID holiday ticket, so it was. So I was never going to get that this season. But that was like 6 rows from the front on the center, pretty much on the centre line. That was an awesome seat. That was, but we'll see. I might try and get. If there are any tickets closer to the front, I'll try and get them next season. But the closer you get to the front, the more expensive it gets.
Of course,
on the upper tier at least, anyway.
Yep, of course. So,
anyway,
what's happening in the show today?
Let's have a look. We've got an anagram. We've got the weekend results. Also, look at the midweek results as well, the Europa League results. We'll dissect the Europa League game and the Palace game. Then we've got a quiz, and then we'll look into the home straight. April's 18. Interesting. And then we'll have the prize winner, the question of the show. So if you're watching this, please feel free to post questions throughout the show, and we'll address them as the show goes on, or we'll address them after after we've looked at the Palace game. Don't forget Ronnie's podcast, The Guardian Truth. Link to that's on our Facebook site. That's for all things Arsenal. And so anagram. What's the anagram today?
It's actually an easy one.
Adore avidly.
Yeah. Actually, without looking, I got it in a couple of seconds. It's quite easy.
Right. So there you go. No pressure, everyone.
Yep.
If you can't get it in a few seconds,
you should have it by now. It's pretty easy.
Cool. It is. No excuses, guys. Get it. Right. So, tonight we have Charles.
Hey.
How's it, Charles?
Hey.
Good.
How's it going, Charles?
Yeah, good, man.
All good. And
we've also got
the graphics team joining us.
The graphics team is joining us as a guest tonight.
I am a seat holder. I'm a bench warmer. I'm just waiting for the real pundit to arrive. And then I'm sure I'm going to get kicked off.
Yeah, we're
I didn't want Charles to have to. I didn't want Charles to have to field all the questions.
Yeah.
I'll try my best.
Yeah, good. Let's have a look at the week, midweek
And
results.
weekend.
Yeah, so Europa League, Juventus cruising through against Freiburg, Manchester United killing off Real Betis, Leverkusen going through against Ferencváros. Sorry.
Ferencváros.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, good. Union Saint Gilloise going through against Union Berlin. Feyenoord going through against Shakhtar. Sevilla going through against Fenerbahce. Roma going through against Real Sociedad, and unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on which way you look at it, Sporting going through against us. Yeah, not too happy about that. But anyway, next. The weekend results. Newcastle going through, not going through, getting a result against Forest. Charles, do you think Newcastle's top four challenge is still alive? Do you think that they're going to get top four?
The thing that keeps their top four hopes alive is that they've got a really, really good defense. They'll start to gain a bit of momentum with Isaac's form as well. I think they're a strong shot for the top four here.
Brentford drawing against Leicester. We got Villa smashing Bournemouth. Morgan, is Emery rescued Villa?
I think I think they've done enough so far. I don't think they're gonna be in any serious trouble. I think the 9 teams below them, the 9 or 10 teams, 9 teams below them are doing so poorly and are being so uncertain, and the results are all over the place. That Villa will I can't see them having any problem staying up. They should feel safe, surely.
Yeah. Should we have kept on to Emery?
No. No.
What are you talking about here?
I almost bailed to Leeds full time with that man. It wasn't the result; it was the football. I didn't get it. Oh no!
I'll take that as a no then. Good. He has turned Villa around a little bit though, hasn't he? He's because they did look in a bit of trouble.
He was obviously going to do better than who was it? Was Gerrard there before?
Gerrard, yeah.
He's definitely going to do a better job than Gerrard.
Yeah. Chelsea going back to norm and drawing against Everton. A couple of games postponed there because of the FA Cup. Southampton drawing against Spurs. Charles, do you reckon it's Europa League for that other team in North London, or maybe the Conference League?
Listen, based on what went down with Antonio Conte, now,
that was juicy.
One of two ways. It's either it fires him up or they fire him and they drop into the Europa League. But I don't think it's going to be a strong into the season for them. It's also a tough run of games that they've got coming up in the running. So I don't see them making it, and I don't see them holding on to Harry Kane as well. So it could be a long way back from here. I think their era of dominance, should I say, it's over. It's over.
It didn't last very long, did it?
Yeah. Shaw, seeing that you mentioned Harry Kane, who do you take him?
Not a chance. Not a chance.
Why not?
I'd take him to Man United.
I'm way too proud. I may be stupid, but I'm way too proud to take Harry Kane.
Is it because where he comes from, or
100%? I would say it comes from Arsenal, but no.
It's more. So you don't think he could do another Sol Campbell?
Nah, I really don't see it happening. I really don't.
I don't think there's a place for him, is there? Where would he? Who would he go ahead of in the pecking order? Would you put him ahead of Jesus, or would you put him ahead of?
Balogun.
Well, you put him ahead of Nketiah, I suppose. But
Yeah.
I mean, you got Balogun potentially coming back, though, haven't you? So would you?
Yeah, there's no space for him, boss. I mean,
No.
there isn't.
Hey, we can build one of those Manchester City type teams where you
Yeah.
can rest people.
Could,
But I do think that he's good enough that if he goes to a United, they do become a massive threat. So, like I say, I'm
Do you think-
being stupid, but I'm way too proud to take it.
Do you think he'd be? Do you think he would turn Man United around? Do you think he's the missing piece of the puzzle at Man United?
I don't know if he's the final piece to that puzzle because there's still a lot lacking in that team, but he'd definitely turn them into title contenders. I really believe that.
Then what happens to Rashford? He's the golden child.
Oh, he's on the left wing.
On the wing, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
But Harry Kane isn't old enough to go to Man United, though, is he? Yeah, he needs to be at least 35, doesn't he, to get the transfer done?
Yeah.
Anyway, other results. Leeds getting a win against Wolves. Were you happy about that, Morgan?
I was pleased. I will say I was pleased. They got lucky with the fourth goal. They are kind of did them a favor there, but yeah, no, I think they still in it though. They are far from out of that drop zone, and so they are going to have to work very hard. But it's a simple logic now. Just drop fewer points than everybody else, and because they score a lot more goals than everybody else, I think they give them themselves a chance to win more games. So I think that's the upside for Leeds at the moment. But it's shaky.
Yeah. Let's have a look at the table then.
You can just leave the screen up to the rest of the show.
8 points clear,
honestly.
and our form is very good. So with 8 points clear at the top now, who doesn't believe we can win the title?
Do you know
Yes, Alex, who doesn't believe that? Alex, who doesn't believe that?
I'm still not convinced. I am not convinced. We'll see.
What
We'll see after the Newcastle game where we are.
So after the second last game, I
think we got 3 more games after that. We got Brighton at home.
Okay.
Which I might add, we lost against Brighton 2-0 last season at home. That was awful. And then we got Forest away, which Ray, my son, is convinced that is where we're going to lose the title. And then we've got.
Oh my word! It's a Marsh. I now understand. It's a Marsh where hope sinks into. I just want to ask.
I look at those fixtures, and I think in April we've got such a tough run of games that I need to see it to believe it. I need to see those results come in. I need to see us beat City, and we've got to go to Anfield and win, and then this Newcastle away and Chelsea at home. Or in order, we've got Liverpool away, and then towards the end we've got Man City away, Chelsea at home, and then Newcastle away. And then we've got those 3 games in about a week as well, haven't we? We've got City, Chelsea, and Newcastle in the space of a week. That they are incredibly tough fixtures. So yeah, forgive me for not believing just yet, because they are really tough fixtures.
I just feel like the stars are aligning for an Arsenal title win over here. I'm looking at when the Liverpool game comes up, all of a sudden they are playing Chelsea midweek before we go to Anfield. We've got an entire week off. We've then got to play Man City. Man City are playing back-to-back every 3 days. Ideal scenario, they've drawn Bayern Munich. They then get through that. They play either Real Madrid or Chelsea. It's honestly, it feels like the stars are aligning in our favor. and I'm going to be out there, and I'm just going to be blowing my trumpet, and I'm going to be backing the boys for a win. I just feel like this is our year.
I've got to be, but don't get me wrong. I am backing them for a win. I've got to back them every game for a win. You know, it's just it's tough. It's tough. Like the fixtures are tough. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't make it.
Listen, Alex, we've just.
I mean, I don't want us
in the past. That's it. we're just protecting our hearts from hurt. That's all.
You know what? Wait. Just a couple of things before we carry on with this conversation. First, Glenwyn. No, that's not.
Can I just say first thing first, Naseem? We need group therapy. Call the therapist. This group, the show. Arsenal fans need group therapy.
Morgan, you're
the other
convinced that we're
team
gonna
in
win,
this,
aren't you?
Man City also don't have it easy. As much as they are on the back foot right now, we hold all the eggs. They've got Liverpool next, and you don't know what Liverpool's going to show up at Etihad, and Liverpool might just give them a knock, even if it's a draw. That helps us, and
It does help us, yeah.
so.
And then they've got Liverpool have got us pretty much not too long after that.
Yeah, but Liverpool got Chelsea before they play us, so
yeah.
I agree with Naseem is saying everything I want to say, so I can leave the show now.
Hold on a minute.
It's not just all on us. I mean,
it took me a long while. It took me a long time to convert him. You go, brother Naseem. You go.
The pressure is more on City than it is on us. Remember, we are the outside team here. Nobody. I mean, even our own fans at the beginning of the season, the goal was never to be where we are right now. We wanted
Don't
to
go
be.
back, brother. Don't go back, brother.
I'm not going back. I'm not going back.
Don't backslide. Don't backslide.
I'm just saying. The goal was that, and now the pressure's on them because you've got this young team with the youngest team in the league, with the youngest manager in the league, and they are playing really well through 28 games so far, and they don't look like they're going to stop. They have a little bit of a hiccup, and the very next game they're back at it. I mean, you'd think let's go back to the Wenger era. If we lost Thursday night, you knew come Saturday, come Sunday is going to be a shit show.
And well, it's not even that. It's if we go one goal behind in the Wenger era, we'd lost that game.
Yeah,
we're not coming back from that.
Yeah.
Hey, can we stop bashing my hero, please? Enough.
No, we're not bashing him. I mean, Wenger was awesome for Arsenal.
I like the little thing that this is thing that we've got that people are underestimating. I heard some people some pundits talk about it. The fact that sometimes, even if you play the early game, if you play the Saturday game and the other team that's chasing you is playing the Sunday game, even that Saturday result where you sort of either narrow the gap or you expand that gap, you win a game and suddenly the pressure's on the other team. Even over those kind of games, the pressure mounts up. If you if you're a Man City person and you're looking at player or manager, and you're looking at that table now and you think that's an 8-point gap. Sure, we have a game in hand, but even that's not going to make a huge chunk of difference. There is a lot to think about, and that Champions League pressure on them, it's a monkey on Pep's back that he's desperate to get rid of. So So as much, I think our players are the way they performed on Saturday. There was a certain poise about them that I so admired, and that gave me more hope than I even had before.
Well, don't diss me for not believing, right? Because at the beginning of the season, when I said that Arsenal were going to finish in second, and they were going to finish above Liverpool or Man City, one of the two, I wasn't sure. I got laughed at. Okay, so I'm being consistent here, if nothing else. Right.
Well
okay,
done,
let's have a look at the bottom of the table.
Do we care?
Yeah, we do, because there's 4 points between 12th and 20th. So that is as close as I've ever seen it, really.
And a lot of good players to buy up, to snap up.
And
Should whoever, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Here's the other thing: you do not want to be playing any of these teams.
they are fighting for survival, aren't they?
All of them. And who's in there? I mean, Leeds. We've got Leeds.
We got to play Leeds. We got to play Wolves at the end of the season. We got to
We've
play
got
Forest
West
away.
Ham.
We got to play West Ham
Southampton.
away. We got to play Southampton
Southampton.
at home.
Yeah.
So we got to play quite a few of those. I mean, we're capable of beating all of them.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
Forest
foresee any
Forest
real-
away, I think, will be a tough game. They are a difficult team to
Yeah.
play away from home.
But
They had a really good run, Alex. They had a really good run, but they've fallen off now. So they kind of were working their way up the ladder, but now I don't think they're going to be that much of a concern. None of those teams are. I think that desperation adds again pressure on them. And that means they make mistakes.
yeah, by the time we play them, Forest and Wolves, you'd hope that things that have been sorted out by then. And there's no last day shenanigans. You'd hope, especially with Wolves being our last game, you'd hope they would have been get themselves out of there, because you don't want to play Wolves fighting for relegation on the last day.
No.
We'll have the title in the bag by then, guys. Stop this nonsense, man.
Does
And
anyone
also have
think?
to remember,
Tell them.
yeah, the whole danger with playing one of these relegation-threatened teams is that you think they are up for it. Emotionally, they're up for it, and they're going to give you the game. Their careers depend on it. Surely, for Arsenal, fighting for the Premier League title holds the exact same weight, if not more. And so you would expect that talent would beat grit any day of the week if that talent works hard. I'm telling you, written in the stars, Alex, go and preach it in the Marsh house.
Alex and I have a bet to win. I made my bet early. The odds were in my favor, so there we go. I'm going to make my money back.
Who thinks West Ham's going to go down? You don't think so? No. Great, have they?
I think it's going to be Forest.
Don't say Leeds. Don't say Leeds.
No, Forest, Bournemouth, and Southampton.
That's my
I don't think there's.
Is it? I think Southampton are probably doomed, actually. I think Leeds are also doomed.
If you look at those performances over the last 5 games, if you look at Bournemouth have at least won a couple of games, so maybe they still have a couple of wins in them. But Leicester, surely, they must be so worried at the moment. The drop has been precipitous, so they are looking down that top and that precipice, and it can't be looking good for them. So I'd be more worried about them than I am about West Ham.
Their problem is they haven't replaced Vardy. Vardy is finished. He's not. He's done.
It's a shadow of what he was. They bring him on as a substitute, hoping it'll bring something, but he doesn't bring anything to them now.
Yeah,
he's I wouldn't be surprised if he retires at the end of the season, to be honest.
Yeah.
When they get relegated. If West Ham go down, that'll be a big stadium in the Championship, won't it? If West Ham go down.
Arsenal need 26 points. Yeah, so we need 9 wins out of the next 10. If
right,
we have to assume
someone's done the maths there.
Yeah, that's the math. So win 9 out of 10 leaguers, doesn't matter what City does.
No, but don't assume that City have been dropping points. We always assume that City is just going to win their last 12 games. They are going to drop more points. I am confident about it. The pressure, like Charles says, that pressure of the Champions League, kind of that demands that they put on themselves.
Games to come, haven't they? So
I'm also sick of hearing pundits say that we are waiting for Manchester City to click. Maybe that's just how they are playing. Maybe.
I think they already have clicked, as it were. I just think with Haaland, they play a totally different game.
Exactly.
And how they are now is Man City, essentially. I don't think they're going to get any better than what they are now towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
Having said that, I mean, Haaland just can't stop scoring at the moment, can he? Damn it.
Yeah.
How many goals has he got? He's got over 30. Has he got over 40 goals this season?
It's over 40. It's over 40. Yeah.
Is it 42 or something this season now?
Yeah.
In all competitions, that is ridiculous. With 10 games left to play, they've got 11 games, I think, haven't they?
They've got 11 league games.
Yeah, 11
left.
league games left.
Yeah.
If
how many goals do you reckon?
out in the international break, that would be good.
Now that's the thinking, people. That's the kind of thinking we need. Lovely.
Right, let's go and let's move on now and dissect these games. We'll start with the sporting game. We'll start with the misery and end with the positive stuff. Sporting. Charles, was Arteta right to rest so many players?
He was. I was also at the game on Thursday, and honestly, the first 10 minutes, it was an absolute shambles. Sporting had us, but after that, we gradually grew into the game. It was only actually what happened was the 2 injuries disrupted everything in terms of tactical substitutions. We had to take Jesus off, and I actually think he had such a big influence on the game. It also impacted when we had to bring on Odegaard, who only came on after the 90 minutes were done anyway. Honestly, on the day, I just feel like Sporting Lisbon they wanted it that much more.
Yeah.
And because of it, they deservedly went through. There's nothing you can say, oh, absolutely world-class goal is what knocked us out of the Europa League. And sometimes you just have to hold your hands up and say, you know what, fair play. So be it. But you know what? As much as I wanted us to win that Europa League, I'm not too fussed. I got eyes on the prize here, so I'm not too fussed.
It's like a girlfriend you weren't really into. Am I correct, Shaw?
Yeah. You look at her and you think she's nice, but you know what? That babe called Champions League is staring at us.
Okay, I didn't mean you had to think about swapping girls. I just thought maybe it was just a girlfriend that things were okay but not great, and then she left, and you felt hurt for a day and so, and then you got over it.
Exactly.
One of those injuries you were talking about was Saliba's injury. Morgan, are you worried about that going into these final stages of the season?
Yeah,
I had him down as man of the season for us. It's not the thing you normally give defenders because the headlines are stolen on the other end of the pitch. But I mean, I heard you guys last year talking about Saliba. I thought, what are you guys carrying on about? But wow, he's been formidable. He has been so amazing. I think there's enough balance in the team. We're not at the stage where we were like a season or so ago, where one player, when we lost Jesus, we all got worried. I think there's enough talent in other parts of the pitch that we can compensate for that. But I would love him back. He's my man of the season for sure.
Do you think Rob Holding's good enough to fill in for Saliba?
Leave the man alone. He's not Saliba.
Have you fallen in love with his haircut? Is that it?
It's not. It's the Nketiah question. Is he Jesus? No. Can he do the job? He did for a little while, and I think Holding had a really solid performance, despite what some people may have said on Sunday. So I am not. I do want Saliba back, but I don't think it's Rob Holding. Should.
It's going to be quite difficult coming into the first team, having not really played hardly any first team football this season, really, has it?
Yeah,
and it's always been Saliba, and even in some of the Europa League games, Holding hasn't really had a look in, has he? It's been Gabriel that's been rested for some of them. So Holding's played virtually nothing really. And he did look very rusty on Thursday. Sorry, when he came on, but he looked a bit more assured, shall we say, on
Yeah.
yesterday, but
Yeah.
he's got no pace.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. He's not blessed with pace, is he? I mean, compared to Saliba's actually a really, really quick centre back.
Yeah.
And there was a moment in that Palace game. I want to talk about the Palace game in a minute, but there was a moment in that Palace game where you just thought, "Ooh, I could do with Saliba's pace there when the ball got put over the top." And
I suspect you guys feared that would happen like before the game.
Yeah,
and so when it happened, it was just like, there we go.
Do you reckon teams are going to try and capitalise on that though? Put a quick forward on and just pump balls over the top.
Aren't all forwards quick? No, it's I think he needs a couple of games.
You know what? I'm not even worried about that because we've got
There we go. There we go, Naseem. There we go, brother.
Look, even although there was some offsides or stuff like that, but there was probably about 3 or 4 one-on-one chances against Ramsdale in the last couple of games, and not one of them went in the goal. He saved every one of them. So no, I'm not worried. And
there we go.
It just goes back to way back when they said, like, if you want to win the league, like, everybody needs to be on their game, even your goalkeeper. And as Charles says, the stars are just aligning, man. It just shows, look, they all want it, and they're fighting for it. And it's even Rob Holding, yes, he's slow, but he had a decent game yesterday. He held his own, and that, what's his name? Issei dude, he's strong, and
Amen,
Rob
brother.
Holding,
Amen.
Rob Holding did a good job on him. Yeah.
See, Alex, you cannot defeat the zeal of the new convert. My brother Naseem just showed you that. He's a believer. He's a believer.
When do you think it all went wrong then against Charles mentioned where he thought it went all wrong, but Morgan, where do you think it went wrong in the second half? Do you think it was the substitutions, or do you think it was?
No, the intensity just wasn't the same. I must admit, I don't know. You guys were in the stadium, so you had a different sense of what was happening. For me, just watching it, thousands of miles away, the intensity just wasn't there. It's like we had to go to work or do a night shift. We prefer to go back to day shift over the weekend. It just wasn't the same. The fact that we had so little of the possession compared to what we normally have surprised me. Sporting is not that good a team. They came at us, yes, but other teams have come at us, and we've seen them off. The intensity just wasn't the same. I have to admit that for me was the thing that was lacking most. I thought.
We could barely put 2 or 3 passes together though, as well. Yeah. Could we? The passing was really sloppy.
The other thing, not also the players. I mean, you were at the game on Thursday night, and normally from us that's watching TV, this Emirates is loud. Like yesterday, it was the normal Emirates.
Yeah.
Thursday night, it was
there was big portions of the home crowd that were taken up by Sporting fans again.
It was so dead. So the atmosphere or the intensity from the team and the supporters was not there. And I almost think that, like, not that we didn't care. It was, well, if we don't make it, we don't make it. But our eyes are set on something else.
The post-match interview was like, come on, someone at least pretend to look sad. I think people were a bit upset.
Okay, then.
Please,
so
man.
Who is happy that we're out of the Europa League?
Yeah, a little bit. Look. Here's the other thing. The reason why you want to win the Europa League is to get in the Champions League. Right? That's the only thing. We are already in the Champions League. We don't need to win.
It's nice to have a trophy anyway, though, isn't it? It's nice to win something.
Yeah. I thought we should have played the B team, not this not the A minus team that we played, but like really go for your B team. I think those guys would have felt it more, like there's something to play for, because we don't get game time. If we win this, we can get more game time. So yeah.
When success is generally judged by the amount of trophies that you've won. So winning the Europa League is nice. I mean, you look at Spurs, for example. Their era of dominance has resulted in 0 trophies, and no one sees them as a successful club. Whereas over the past, I don't know, even the past sort of 10 years. I mean, we've won the FA Cup a few times. We've at least won trophies. Even if it's not been a very successful period for us. But yeah, it would have been nice to win it. But maybe, just maybe, we might win that league trophy at the end of the season.
Oh,
Not long to go right now.
Alex, are
Maybe.
you okay?
Maybe.
You just
Maybe. I didn't say I was going to believe in it. Right, guys. Enough about the Europa League. Let's get on to the. Let's go on to the Palace game. Was Palace right to sack Vieira?
Like I said at the beginning, honestly, it was a massive shock. I don't think they finished higher than 12 previously. He had them sat in 12. He had their best games behind them. He's played every single top team. And he's got in the next 10 games, I think 8 of the bottom half teams below him to play, below Crystal Palace to play. So it's an absolutely shocking decision. I think he could have turned it around. He's a good enough coach. I think from what I've been reading, the players absolutely adore him. They fight for him. And you could tell by how they were playing last season, beginning of this season as well. There's something about Palace with Vieira. It's just an unfortunate run of results where you're coming up against the top teams in the division. They aren't one of the top teams in the division. I think the owners are so... I can't even think of the word.
Ambitious. So don't
use the word ambitious, because if you look at teams like Nottingham Forest that are lower down in the league, that have spent a lot more than Palace, and Palace are still above them in the league table. Vieira has performed miracles with that team, so it's a shocking decision for me, and they've lost a really top coach. I think with the right funds, Vieira would have performed miracles and had them in the top half of the league, maybe even a European place. He's that good, in my opinion.
And Charles, you were mentioning before the show their run towards the end of the season. They surely with him would have survived.
100%. And now you're going back to potentially Roy Hodgson. I mean, if you're speaking about fossil football, that is it.
I've heard that I've heard Frank Lampard's in the mix as well.
Oh God, like why?
But mind you, he does. Someone pointed this out to me. I think it was Ray actually pointed this out to me. Lampard has a 100% success record in keeping clubs up in the Premier League. He does. I mean, he got sacked before and he got relegated. Yeah. But,
Just on the Palace thing also. Do you want to look at their fixtures since the turn of the year, since the beginning of the year? They played Spurs, which you wouldn't expect them to win. Then they got Chelsea. Then they got United. Then they played Newcastle. Then they played United again. Then they played Brighton, where they got a draw. Then they got Brentford away, which is not easy. Then they got a draw to Liverpool at home. Then they played Aston Villa. Then they played City. Then they played Brighton away. And then they played us. Where in that string could they realistically have gotten a win? Maybe.
Yeah. And then I think they were competitive as well over those games. The results were always where they felt I think they should have got a point or more out of the games, and they were just very unlucky. They just don't have the depth that Arsenal has, for instance.
That was tough games since the beginning of the year. I mean,
yeah, very tough.
Like it's only a week ago that they almost got a point of City. It was a stupid lapse of concentration that cost them a draw in that game. So it's a shocking decision, honestly.
Yeah.
So back when we lost 3-0 against Palace, was anyone thinking, we should get Patrick Vieira in instead of Arteta at that point?
No. No.
No? Right, no, me either. Good, right. Moving on.
Wolfie's not on the show tonight, Alex.
Oh.
Wrong.
Wrong crowd.
Read the room.
Who thought Jesus should have started against Palace?
No, I don't
No?
think he's ready yet.
Not ready yet.
No.
Do we start him against Leeds?
I think
yeah, possibly.
He's
yeah.
not going away for international duty, is he?
Yeah,
No.
he's
But
not.
no.
Oh dear Lord, come on! Alex, come on! Don't jinx this whole thing, man.
well, I'm just praying he's not going.
Yeah. Just deny a visa into his own nation. That's all I'm saying. The British have to stop him at the border. Sorry, you can't leave.
Do you think that he should be starting though ahead of Trossard when he is fully fit and ready to start?
Oh, that's a tough question. Charles, you can answer that one.
That's probably the hardest question of the night. Honestly, but I mean, if you look at it, you compare the two games. If you look at when Jesus started against, say, Sporting, for example, like I said, he caused that whole team to click. You thought the balls that he was putting into the box, the dribbling that he had was second to none. And then in the same breath, you look at Trossard's contribution against Palace this weekend, and you think, oh, what a player again. But again, I think I said this a couple of weeks ago when I was on the show. It's Arteta's problem to have. It's a good problem to have. Honestly. So for me personally, I would start Jesus on against Leeds. And I'd actually think of probably giving Saka a rest at some point in time. So that's where you get the rotation with Trossard, with Martinelli, and with maybe Jesus starting as a front three instead of Saka. But it's not based on Saka's talent. It's just to honestly give that guy a breather.
Yeah, would you start Nelson instead of Saka? Maybe against Leeds.
He's a good impact player. He's done two really good things for us in this whole league season. But when he's been thrust into it from the start, he's honestly not brought his A game. And, maybe it could be similar to what Holding did against Palace on the weekend, where you can trust him against a smaller team like Leeds. But yeah. To me, it's a tougher one. I'd rather go with like I said, a Martinelli, Trossard, and Jesus combination rather than.
I disagree. I say it's full strength team every week.
Every week, even after the international break.
What is full strength? Trossard or Jesus?
Well, not Jesus, just because he's not match fit yet. But I'd give him 45 minutes. I'd give him some game time, maybe even 30 minutes. But I would start him against Leeds, but take him off maybe 60th minute or something like that. And slowly get him ready for the big games.
There's a part of me that knows, because there are 6 games in April, at some point we're gonna want him to start games. Yeah. He's just too. Yeah, even that first game when he came on for, what was it, 15, 20 minutes? It's like he hadn't left. He wasn't as sharp as normal, but the movement around, he's just such a pest for defenders. And that is, you look frustrated that he still hadn't scored. And the man hasn't scored. I don't know how many games ago he hasn't scored. But I do think that by the time we hit Man City, I want him to be starting.
Fully match fit, So against Leeds, Liverpool, West Ham, I would not give him full games, and maybe from the Southampton game onwards, he'll get the full 90 minutes. That's what I do. But full strength team week in, week out. There's no break for Saka, no break for Odegaard. You can't gamble letting Reece Nelson start or this one start. So Trossard
games,
Trossard shows that he can do a job, and we knew he could do a job when he came in.
Who's worried about the players getting off for international duty now?
Who's going?
I
it
just
just-
hope that
There's a few,
the
isn't
Arsenal
there?
guys don't give their all for their country right now. If
The,
they do
the
play,
problem
too.
is it's Euro
play Arsenal.
qualifiers. So it's not even friendlies, it's qualifiers. So
Yeah.
it's
So who's
Uh,
going off?
so
Xhaka is going.
Xhaka will be off. Saka will be off. Ramsdale's off. Although Ramsdale probably won't play because Saka always tends to prefer Pickford.
Oh, yeah.
But he might do
don't-
rotation. Who knows? It's a bit. It's
Yeah,
difficult to
but
predict.
Saka's
Not
name
that
is going to be
Odegaard
Saka's
will
name
off.
is going to be
Will
first. Saka's name will surely be first on the team sheet for England.
Yeah,
Especially in his current.
Yeah.
Well, him and
Saka's-
Rashford.
Well, no, Rashford's injured, isn't he? So Rashford's getting a break.
Okay.
conveniently.
Oh dear Lord.
Yeah.
Oh dear Lord.
How convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get back to that the Palace game. Do you think against stronger opposition we would have conceded more goals? Because we were caught
No.
by a few number of times.
No, Palace played well the first 15 minutes of each half. They did pretty well. So, but I still don't think. No, doesn't matter.
No.
No.
Okay.
I think it's what Naseem said earlier, that everybody kind of and has been told everyone's got to live the game. So even if you do concede, and there's also just the Arsenal is so different. I don't think they sweat it as much anymore if they do concede. I think they are playing a riskier game. It's been pointed out that because they know they've got that title in their sights, they are playing a much more attacking game. I mean, they are relentless at the moment on some of these poor teams.
Who was your man of the match, Morgan?
To me, it has to be Ben White.
Ben White.
Ben White, he was like, you give Saka would probably be the obvious choice with 2 goals and an assist, but Ben White, the way that man was defending the intricate through balls that he was playing, it was next level. Honestly, I don't know why. I'm not complaining that he's not going to play for Southgate in the international break, but he's honestly maybe head-to-head with Reece James as the best right back in the league, honestly.
Interesting.
Everybody had a good game. Holding had a good game. Partey had a good game. Xhaka had a good game. Everybody played well.
It was a good team performance. Ramsdale made some great saves as well.
Yeah.
Very good saves. Right, let's move on. In the Premier League,
scoring goals. From that graphic,
Okay.
shows that we are scoring goals.
And we haven't conceded as many. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't considered as many apart from the Bournemouth game, but looking good. 12 out of 12. Good job I didn't predict any there.
After what happened last month, you lost your fight again.
I'm banned from points predictions now. It's looking very good.
Alex, I have to warn you. I think the graphics team has just informed me they've got a slide like that for April as well. So there is going to be a chance for you to make a prediction.
Oh, God.
Okay. What's that quiz next? Adore avidly. Someone got this earlier on, I think.
Neil got it. Yeah, Neil got it, and Glenwyn got it afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, well done, guys. It is, of course, David O'Leary. Right, next question. Arsenal's last defeat to Leeds. Oh, do we have to? Came at the end of the 2002.
The graphics team, I have to warn you, the graphics team decided it's a Leeds team was their next match. That's the only reason why.
I was there as well for this game. It essentially killed our title run. And then the game afterwards was against Southampton when we won 7-0? And then that was the start of our 49-game unbeaten run. Anyway, in the 2003-2004 season, the season which Leeds would be relegated, and Arsenal would score 13 goals over 2 league ties and an FA Cup clash against the Yorkshire team, which 2 Arsenal players scored in each of those games, together accounting for 10 of the Arsenal goals. Was it A, Thierry Henry and Robert Pires, B, Thierry Henry and Dennis Bergkamp, or C, Robert Pires and Dennis Bergkamp?
Oof.
Just
I'll
waiting,
go A.
Shall?
I'll
waiting
go
for the
A.
chat. Okay, so we got a C from Glenwyn. C.
It's a tough one. This.
Anyone else?
I have to congratulate the graphics team on coming up with a really good question.
It's a good question. Yeah, I have to
This is a
say,
good question.
even though it's got Leeds in it.
Yeah. What's the answer?
Henry and Pires is A.
Yep.
Yeah.
Henry scored 7 goals in 3.
Yeah.
Do you know? Let's just Thierry Henry. Just go watch this guy and see what we didn't realize what we had. I think only today you realize what we had, how good he really was. I think sometimes Arsenal fans underappreciate how spectacular this guy was. Yes,
Really?
he's got a lot of goals. No. It's just not the goals. We look at the goals
Yeah.
and that's it. And we look past. Yes, he scored a lot of goals. It's but how he scored them.
No, it's absolute quality.
Insane.
Yeah, he's the best Arsenal striker ever, easily. There's no
Premier
one that
League
rivals.
striker. I'd go.
No one that rivals Henry ever in football, in my opinion, as an Arsenal player.
I'd go any Premier League player, even Haaland. Haaland, even Haaland. He can score 70 goals a season. It's not the thing. It's just not his goals. It was the other side of his game as well. Anyway, that's my theory on the round.
Right. Thierry Henry was good. Question 3. Over Leeds' long absence from the Premier League, Arsenal's only matches against them were 4 FA Cup ties, including 1 replay. I scored the winning goal in the last of those 4 matches, played in January 2020. I was born in the London area known as Elephant and Castle. Who am I?
Is that a real place?
Elephant Castle, yeah.
A real place.
Yeah, it's near Waterloo Station. It's just down the road.
Oh. Yeah, you guys have some weird naming protocols. Elephant and Castle. What? Oh, sorry.
One of my friends lives. Well, he used to. Yeah, no, he's still got an apartment down the road from Elephant and Castle. Anyway,
It's a tough one.
Anyone?
Yeah.
Oh, we're not getting options on this one.
Oh, there's no options. Oh no, this is tough. You've exhausted all the easy questions. Now it's like rock solid questions.
There's a timeline over there. There's so it's not that long ago.
He's still playing though.
The audience is furiously googling.
I'm gonna go with Eddie Nketiah. I don't know why.
Close one.
No.
Glenn, when he still plays, Robert Pires was not playing.
Born in Elephant Castle in London, Robert Pires. Amazing.
I think that was an answer to a previous question, surely. And I'm pretty sure he wasn't born in the UK. There's another clue, Shaw. He was born. Okay, yeah. Should I give the answer?
Should we give one final clue? He's come back from injury quite recently.
He's Nelson.
Oh, that was too easy then, wasn't it? Very good. Right, the weeks ahead. Now, I am not allowed to make any guesses here. I have to be quiet. But out of the 18 points, Michelle, what are you saying?
Damn it, I wanted to ask to go last on this one.
Can't we do it game by game?
Yeah. Let's
game
do
by
that.
game.
Okay, so it's are we doing scores as well?
No.
This is
Just
the scoring one.
Just the points prediction.
Just the points.
So I'll go.
You don't have to. You can abstain. Like
No, I want to. I want to look like I either have egg on my face or I want to be praised for being spot on. I'm going 3 out of 3 for Leeds. I'm going I believe we'll beat Liverpool. Honestly, I'm going 6 out of 6. I'm going 9 out of 9. I'm going 12 out of 12. And then here's the banana skin for me.
Yep.
So I'm gonna cross my fingers and hope that it's 13 out of 15. And then that's an easy win, the last one. So I'm going 16 out of 18.
Easy win. Okay. Morgan?
Oh, I am determined. By the time by the time that game against Man City comes around, they are going to be terrified of us. I'm tired of us going into the City games fearful. Doesn't matter how well we play against other people, and then fearful. There's this sort of intimidation factor. We're just not up to scratch. I am determined. By the time that game comes around, I am confident that Arsenal are going to say, to hell with this nonsense. We are beating you at your home ground. And so I'm going 18 out of 18. We got this title in the bag by end of April. I am tired. I think there's a confidence in the players at the moment that says, no, why are we so terrified of you? Why do we cower to you? It's yeah. And I just think that by that game, they are going to be terrified of us.
You've got that Antonio Conte spirit in you. I see it.
There we go. I am belligerent. I am violent, and I am determined that we are going to see them off by the end of April.
Naseem?
I'm not as optimistic as you guys.
Shame
I think
on you.
we.
Shame on you. Couldn't believe it.
I'm with so. The two main games we were talking about here is the Liverpool and the City one. I think we're going to draw to Liverpool and lose to City. So, 14
Naseem,
points.
have we, my brother? Did we
14
not
points.
do the?
14 points. We still win the league.
14 points, really.
We still win the league.
What?
Do you not think the position that we go with to City is what's going to determine what our performance will be? I mean, if we are still maybe 8 points, whatever, ahead of them, come that Etihad game, it's going to determine exactly how we play. We're either going to play on the counter or we're going to take the game to them, whatever. But based on our points tally in that game, when we're heading into that game, is how we're going to take on that game. And I don't think we are tactically inept. I feel like we can take the City on like they aren't what they are. They're going to have tiring legs. They are going to be there for the taking. They're playing an FA Cup semi-final. I don't care that it's against Sheffield United. They are going to play their best team against Sheffield United. They're playing Bayern Munich before that. They are there for the taking. And I think the position that we are in going into that game will determine what we get out of that game.
Sal, you did say that we'd be 12 for 12 by then. So surely we'd be in a...
Exactly. So you know where my thinking is more.
Why did you say one, we're going to lose, drop 2 points there? Why, Shaw?
Contradiction.
Well, I think we're going to get points. So ready for me first.
Did you go under a bridge there, Alex? We lost your signal there for a few seconds.
Sorry, but maybe you didn't hear me. I said we're going to get points. Right, moving on.
You're right, Charles. They're going to be knackered when they play us.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, brother. Naseem is going to change his mind.
No, screw that. We're taking City.
The hands of Arteta on the team.
And Liverpool. I really think Liverpool's going to win them. Really, I really got a good feeling that Liverpool's going to show up next week.
Maybe
They have to show up sometime. They're
hot and cold, aren't they? Liverpool.
Oh.
They beat Man United 7-0 and then they lose to Bournemouth. So
yeah.
Right. Our form against Leeds is pretty good recently. Was it not? What's
yes.
the form like? Yeah, won all of them. Let's not break that habit.
Yeah.
So we have fixtures coming up as well. What we got? Oh, sorry. I think I've jumped.
Sorry. No, that's me jumping the gun. I apologize.
Man City, Liverpool. That is a big one. Let's hope
definitely
Liverpool do us a
watching that
favour
game.
there. Forest Wolves, relegation scrap there. Chelsea Villa, the battle for mid-table. Newcastle Man United, that will be a tasty fixture. I imagine it will be harder for Man United to beat Newcastle at St James's Park. Bournemouth Fulham, I think Fulham are safe, aren't they? They're certainly not in that relegation scrap, I don't think. Palace and Leicester, that is a relegation scrap. Brighton Brentford, that's sort of top half of the table. West Ham Southampton, another relegation scrap. Loads of them, aren't there?
That's a big
And Everton Spurs, the battle for some sort of significance. Right. Predictions then, guys. Come on, graphics team. Be optimistic.
I made a mistake.
Arteta's spirit. What were you saying?
Okay, my prediction is that we will. That's the result. There we go. I seem to be having a little problem typing in the graphics team entry.
Right.
I apologize. I'm not sure what's going on there.
You said 6-0 to Arsenal.
6-0.
I think that's quite.
I'm not sure what is going on here. The signals are all scrambled at the moment, so I do apologize.
I think it was a 0 there.
Joel, what's your
Right,
thoughts?
Joel?
I do think we concede in this game. I think it will be high scoring. I'm going 3-1 for this one. 3-1.
I'm going to go with. I think we'll batter them. I think it'll be 4-0.
Yep, my thinking 4-0.
Oh, stop copying me.
I can't tell what I was thinking. If I went before you, I'd have told you 4-0. I was thinking 5, and I thought, 5 is a bit too much. Morgan's heart's going to be broken, so let's just make it.
Listen, I'm confident we're going to win the game. I don't think there's a question. And it could be close to the way Leeds play sometimes. It could be humiliating. I'm gonna put it now. I'm gonna put something in here. Please forgive me. The spirit of Khadebe. So
Leeds are going to score a goal. That's not very optimistic of you. Where's the belief? Oh no!
It's gonna be a fun game. We will. I just think that Leeds are gonna be tenacious because they have that kind of spirit about them. But I don't for a second doubt that we'll win that game.
Fair enough. Right. There we are. Don't forget to check out our website, everyone. And there you will find the predictor game. And who's leading in that at the moment? Is it Bevan still?
Yeah.
It's still tied at the top,
Still tied at the top. I should remember to post my my predictions in that finally. I think it's a bit late now.
We've all gone up the table. We're all moving up the table, though. So we were struggling for a while, but Charles, I didn't see your name on the table. Did I just not look properly? There are a couple of there's a whole host at the bottom.
Don't count on my predictions.
There are a whole bunch of people down below who kind of signed up for the game, but I don't think have placed their bets, their predictions.
Do we all get the goal difference right? All of us, well, 3 of us at least.
Yes, we all had the 3 goal gap. So we scored the highest points among the people. Everybody else got 2 points. Everybody kind of got the result, the outcome right, but we at least got the goal difference right.
Did we skip questions today? Do we have any questions?
We did, but we don't really have much. We got from Glenwyn.
Playing Wyatt right back, right centre back.
Centre back.
And Zinchenko right back and Tierney left back. Is that what we're going to do?
Is that a question? Should we do that?
Oh, no.
With Saliba being injured? No.
I don't think so. Zinchenko at right back? I don't know.
Is he
I
two
don't think so.
Someone said Tierney should go. Someone commented that we should try Tierney there.
But we don't need to. And Zinchenko doesn't even play like a left back. He's more like a
midfielder kind of.
Yeah, midfielder, whatever.
The other thing is also is Saliba not due back either at the Leeds game or at the Liverpool game anyway. So
it's a few weeks. It's a bit uncertain.
So the international break is actually perhaps a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely for Saliba. Yeah.
To be honest, I think they probably did a Marcus Rashford situation.
My back. Oh, sorry, guys.
I think Saka should slip on some coffee in the Arsenal corridor as well. Sorry, coach, can't make it. Yeah.
It's such a crap time to have international break. Really,
absolutely ridiculous. Yeah.
Especially because it's so. I mean, the World Cup wasn't that long ago.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Another disruption. We just kind of want to get the season over and done and league title under the belt, don't we?
Is Haaland playing?
Of course.
Yeah, he'll be playing for Norway. And Ødegaard, I should imagine. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So Ødegaard just strip him up a little bit there, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
go on.
This is another question. We're playing one game a week. We kind of discussed this. Obviously, we do have injury concerns for the international break. It is a concern. That's why we hate international breaks. And especially at this time of the season, it's ridiculous. It's stupid.
So well done, Glenn Wynn, for winning question of the show, because you're the only person that asked questions. Congratulations again. You win whichever prize you want, really. It's a set of beer glasses, it is the beanie, or it's the Pirates voucher. Take your pick from those three. Get in touch with Warren and claim those from the pub.
Yep, you must get him at the pub on match day, so that will be at the Leeds game.
Yeah. Cool. Don't forget to check out Ronnie's podcast, everybody. Link to that on our Facebook page. And that is it. Thanks, Charles, for joining us, and Morgan.
Cheers, guys.
For stepping in at late notice.
Fun as usual, lots of fun, despite all the Leeds bashing. Can I just say, I just want to say that coming on the show has been such a pleasure. Largely because of brother Naseem, who is, the zeal of the new convert. I could see it in him. It's such a joy.
Well, my next show is after the City game. So maybe by then we've won the league.
Naseem, I'm going to say something a bit blasphemous. There are more important things. When you guys fast and pray, there are more important things in the world to pray for. But some of these international disputes and wars will not be resolved easily. Could you maybe move us a little bit up that list of things to pray for, if you don't mind, man?
I never play on football. There's always hope. There's always hope. It doesn't work that way. So there's always hope that things look great for us. So always have that hope. But I do believe that come the end of the season, there will be red and white ribbons on that Premier League trophy. And it will be at the Emirates.
Let's hope so.
Here we go. Alex, come on, man! You should have just.
And I can guarantee you that in this little suburb in Cape Town, there will be tears flowing that day. I was speaking to Ian, and I told him, so myself and Ian and Warren were one of the first people that started the supporters club, and I told him ever since we started the supporters club, Arsenal's been going downhill, and it's the first time that things look bright for us. And I almost thought that the supporters club was like the jinx in it, but yeah, hopefully things.
I think the rot started a long time before, a few years before the supporters club. To be honest,
No, well, the supporters
I will
club
just
has
say,
been
can I?
around since
2009.
2009, there around, yeah.
Yeah.
I will just say the following. I've confessed this to Alex. I became an Arsenal fan after the 2003-2004 season. That's
After
when
it.
I became.
So it's
after,
basically
yes.
your fault.
Yeah.
I have suffered long. I have lost a lot of money on Arsenal. Well, 100 rand a year. So yeah. So it could be my fault, but I am determined that the rot has to stop somewhere.
Okay. It's not all your fault, Morgan. I'm sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, before this, what was the gap since 89? It was 17 years, eh? This is 19 years now. This is 19 years. Yeah. It's a long time.
Yeah, it has been a long time. But
19 years.
we might do it. Come on.
I do not know what it feels like winning a title with Arsenal, so I'm very much looking forward to it and celebrating already. I have ordered the cake already to celebrate the occasion. Yeah.
Honestly,
when the cake comes out.
If we do win it, I'll be at the stadium watching them lift the trophy, which would be amazing. And I'll no doubt go and see the bus tour as well. So
yeah,
I shall take lots of pictures if we win it and post them. Yeah. Please,
cool.
Please. Anyway, right, that's it. Thanks very much, guys. And yeah. See you not next week because it's international break. Boo. But after the Leeds game, we shall see you again. Hopefully, after another 3 points are in the bag. Thanks, guys.
Cool.
Thanks for watching.
Enjoy the break.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.
See you guys.
Bye.